What up, gang? What up, gang? What's good? How y'all doing? Happy Wednesday. I hope you guys are having a great day. I need you guys to know what's going on first things first for this emergency meeting. I appreciate you tapping in. Hopefully, somebody's around that can lock in with us and have this conversation. I know most of you find good work, hardworking people got jobs, right? And you don't know what's going on. And that's a good thing. My job is to scour and play in the muck online, right? And in doing so, I come across some of the nonsense out here. Okay? Let me just say that. How we sounding, gang? We got vocals. So listen, man. I have not been this agitated in a very long time. I've been trying to keep my cool lately. But sometimes this industry stuff, gang, and what we're seeing right now, we're seeing industry guys poke their head into hip hop conversations a little bit too much. Lifelong industry guys want to talk hip hop all of a sudden because there's so many podcast mics, right? And when these big hip hop moments come around, these industry guys want to bring their industry mentalities into hip hop conversations that they're not prepared to have. Everybody can't talk this conversation, gang. Everybody can't talk about what we talk about in this culture. Everybody not cut out for it. Some people only know numbers and digits. And some people only know industry lingo and industry talk. And that's cool. We all got to have a job. We all got to work somewhere. And some of these guys are very good at their industry jargon and they make millions from it. And they think by making those millions, it gives them a carte blanche to talk hip hop. Just because you made millions putting up something that was resembling hip hop don't mean you know hip hop. And right here is where we start separating. We've been separating y'all for the last 2 years. Right? Your word means a lot in them boardrooms, right? I worked in corporations, I worked in nonprofit, I worked in a lot of places, gang. I worked in restaurants, I worked a lot of places, and I know a few things too. But at the end of the day, what I do know, what I've been doing more than any of those jobs was being in this hip hop culture when it was nothing, when it was something, and now that it's major. And a lot of those antiquated ideas, right? And I'm gonna explain to you. I'm not gonna keep you here before I explain it. Within the next few minutes, I'm going to explain everything. Give me a minute. I know most of you guys are like, "What's going on?" You're just coming in the chat. You don't even know what's going on, right? But these industry guys feel like they got it all figured out. And when they talk hip hop, they say it with their chest. They say it with authority. But they don't come from a place of hip hop. They come from the industry, and we got to start separating the two. All right? And hip hop has been separating the two. A lot of these guys are losing their jobs. A lot of these places don't have everything they used to have. A lot of these A&Rs and these managers, this, that, and the third, a lot of them are looking for a different place to work because the industry ain't doing what it used to do. And a lot of them have ran to these podcast mics. All right? People like me didn't run to these mics on YouTube because we were going to get paid. I went years not making shit. So I need that to be clear. Right? When people think that I come on here to say shit just to make $1, gang, I say exactly what I feel. And it's always hip hop driven. It's always based in the laws of hip hop. When I criticize the bubble bath rapper and everybody else, Dame Dash, Everybody I criticize, it starts with my understanding and love of hip hop culture. Right? So I need that to be clear. They're coining a phrase of Drake hate or Drake hip hop or YouTube creators, this, that, and the third. No, this ain't Drake hate, my guy. I'm not a Drake hater. I am a guy that loves hip hop. And when people break the code of hip hop, I'm going to speak on it. I'm going to speak on it. I'm going to be 100% buck about it. Doesn't matter who it is. Don't matter who it is, gang. And when you saw when Hove broke the code, I came at Hove, whoever. Because it ain't a lot of real niggas left, gang. I'm just gonna be honest. It ain't a lot of real ones left. People got agendas on here. And when these industry cats come in here and act street, right? Like my man Jizza say, who's your A&R? A mountain climber that plays an electric guitar, right? How Kanye say back in the day, you niggas wear suits because you can't dress no more, right? These industry guys got a whole different mentality. And everything they think of is from industry. And Ray Daniels has shown me time and time again, listen, it's not going to be disrespectful, but it's going to be a real record. It ain't a diss song, it's a real song, right? And I've seen Ray Daniels get into it with other people, this, that, and the third. And he says some stuff like, I'm from the streets, this, that, and the third. Gang, this ain't even, use your words, my nigga. Just use your words when you respond. If and when you do. Just use your words. This ain't nothing to do with no streets, this, that, or the third. It's me just speaking on how I feel about what you're saying. It is what it is, and I'm going to leave it at that, okay? So what I want to say is this. I've seen Ray Daniels over the last couple years, the last 2 years. I didn't know who this guy was. I'm just going to be honest. I've seen this guy say some of the most egregious stuff, and some of his takes he gets right, but most of them be wrong. A lot of them be wrong, in my opinion, right? And I saw him like kind of get back and forth with, I think, who was it, B. Dot and different people, this, that, and the third, and kind of like makes them back off their stance or try to act like they're not hating. This ain't about hate, right? This not about hating you, G. This is me being 100%. I'm going to play the clip that I'm reacting to. Because I just watched a clip that absolutely, it was so outrageous and ridiculous, gang. I said, I got to go live about this one because I can't take this no more. Right? He had the Canadian dude defending Drake, the Drake defender on. It was unwatchable. Unwatchable. And he would let this guy spew this shit, and it was just ridiculous. And this guy screaming and yelling and shit. And I said, how do you put this guy on? Like in good conscience. Like, is this your nephew or something? Like, how do you put this guy on in good conscience, gang? But he would have him on, and he just spewing and stuff. Yeah, you niggas. Like, dog, first of all, anybody with any kind of logic wouldn't even sit in the same space as this nigga yelling and shit. But it was for content, and I understood the game. I understood the assignment. It was for bad content, but it was for content. Okay? So what we're going to do right here is we're going to talk about the industry versus hip hop, because it gotta start something. It gotta start and stop somewhere, right? We got a full-on lifelong industry guy coming in here telling us about hip hop. We gotta call it. We need an emergency meeting because it's gone too far. This clip right here that I just watched, gang. This clip right here, it gets your blood boiling if you're a hip hop head, right? Even if you're not a Jay-Z fan, the shit he's saying in this clip is so ridiculous that you're like, bro, at least tell the shit right. If you're going to make a clip about Jay-Z and Nas and Drake and all this stuff you're meshing together to get a viral moment on your podcast, at least make sense. The clip is 5 minutes long, gang. It's going to take me 2 hours just to tell you how ridiculous all of it is. I'm just gonna be honest. And this ain't no beef. This is a real conversation. Okay? It's a real conversation. No, I do not do things for clout, gang. I need you to understand. I'm not coming at Ray Daniels for clout, this, that, and the third. I really, I feel everything I'm saying before you get it started. See, most YouTubers, they don't go at each other. That's fine. And if they do go at each other, it's calculated. This, that, third. This is raw emotion, gang. This is not calculated. This is not calculated. This ain't against him. I don't know him personally. But the takes are starting to sound like he knows what he's talking about. Through the whole battle, I've been watching this guy. Right? I've been watching and I'm like, that shit sounds absolutely insane. But he speaks on hip hop. I personally, I'm gonna tell you about me, gang. I don't think you can come from an industry point of view and then try to speak about hip hop as if you know hip hop. You know industry shit. They're not the same. Okay? To all the people who get in my comments and start talking about streams and numbers, we not even talking about the same thing. And for him to see that monumental moment that shook the game, whether you liked it or not, for him to say some of the shit he's saying, Jay's too old to do this, that, and third. He should have never came at Drake. I'm just going to tell you what he said a lot of crazy shit, gang. He said Kanye and Drake are the two big dogs in rap. And Jay looks foolish for going at them because Kanye just sold out a stadium, the biggest stadium in the world. And now he's bigger than Jay-Z, and Jay-Z looks foolish going at him. Gang, you don't even understand how absurd this shit got, gang. It was like some lunatic asylum shit, dog. I'm just going to be honest with you. I just need you to understand where this is going and see if you want to stick around or not. But it got absolutely brain warped. And ain't no way I can sit around and listen to this. I can't do it no more. 10 times worse than I can sit there. I've never sat and watched more than 5 minutes of academics at any given point on any stream for any reason. I can sit and watch a full 2 hours of academics over 5 minutes of this guy. I'm just going to be honest. It's so absurd that 5 minutes that I had to sit through, it was so maddening to think someone this old, of this age, is siding with these youngsters against a legend and calling the legend too old, and he shouldn't have responded. Oh yeah, he starts saying he gonna use gimmicks when he drops, and he shouldn't drop the album because he ain't gonna beat Iceman. Gang, it gets gang, you don't understand. And when the guy got rolling, he couldn't stop. So he just kept boxing himself in worse holes. He would say something dumb, and they'll be like, well, did 444? He'd be like, well, 444 was a response to Lemonade. Beyonce's Lemonade. Was it? Does he know that the first single off 444 was Story of OJ? But he tried to say that 444, the whole world was waiting on 444 because it was a response to Lemonade. Gang, it got ridiculous, gang. I lost brain cells listening to the guy. But we're going to get there. You're right. Whoever just said that, Miranda, he's acting like he's young. He wants to play, but this is how industry guys think. So, gangs, you gotta understand. Let me set the scene for you. Ray Daniels is an industry guy, right? I got his thing right here. American music executive, known to work as an A&R, talent manager, contributing to gold and platinum records while working with artists and labels. He founded Radar Management in 2005. He managed talent including Our City and contributed to chart-topping hits and projects for various artists while negotiating, publishing, and artist deals. He is an industry guy. And the first thing an industry guy is going to tell you, and if he come on the stream, what he going to tell you is the industry revolves around young people. That's why you got Soldier Man, Superman, that hoe. That's why you got that. They're looking for younger and younger talent. I did a video last year, Eric Sermon. I said Eric Sermon broke my heart because Eric Sermon put out a video talking about I need all the young artists to send me music. I'm looking for young artists. Eric Sermon, I did a video. Go in my videos, and it's about Eric Sermon. He put a video up talking about I deal with the older cats, but not right now. Right now, I got a new deal with some record label. He got a new deal with, and the stipulations of that deal was that Eric Sermon find young artists. So he made a video about if you got a young artist between this age, then he started realizing how dumb he sounds, so he started trying to up the age. But he was looking for people like 13, between 13 and really wanted to say 13 and 18. But then he started bumping it up, 13 to 29. It was stupid. It didn't make no sense. I'm like, what are you talking about, E? But at the end of the day, they think that the industry can only sell music to young artists. And it's true to a degree. It's true, right? It's true because young people are the ones going to stream your stuff over and over. Older people got stuff going on, gang. We got work. We got to make dinner. We're not playing a lot of shit over and over. We're not in our room with our feet up, streaming your shit on repeat. So yeah, it is a young man's game to a degree. Let's be honest. We're not going to sit and pretend. That's why Drake tried to get these young kids. That's why he's on these streamers. Drake is pushing 40. He's on streamers that's 24 years old on their streams, trying to get their audience. So yeah, it is to a degree a young man's game to a degree, but that depends on what game you playing. You playing industry games? Oh yeah. You need kids. You need middle schoolers, high schoolers, young college people. Yeah, oh yeah, you need that for the industry games that Ray's talking about. Okay? But not hip-hop. We're not talking about that. Because for one, it's a lot of people my age still around. And we don't want to hear that shit. And most of the people carrying the heavy weight in hip-hop that you really talk about, I'm not talking about it's at least 2,000, 3,000 young artists out here doing their thing. Heavy. Touring, this, that, and the third. Got, just like that David kid that did what he did, that got arrested. They got 1 million followers. So you got a lot of young kids doing their thing. In that space, for their people, for their age bracket, yes. But as a whole, no one's really talking about them except for the young kids. But when we talk about hip-hop, yeah, it's 35, 45 plus who are shaking the game. And Jay-Z shook the game when he stood up there by himself with that afro. Now, everybody got something to say. Everybody trying to diminish it, gang. Because a guy pushing 60 should not be up there to be able to command this kind of attention. Shouldn't happen. So now everybody got to jump in front of it. The industry already messed up with Dot making G and X so successful because it's real lyrics that have substance to it. And a lot of the stuff don't. So a lot of that shit is flopping and failing. You saw what happened to 21 Savage. You saw what happened to Young Thug. And we can go on and on. A lot of that shit ain't popping no more. The game has changed. Okay? So they're scared that it's going to keep changing with old ass dudes coming out like Jay, moving the needle, moving the zeitgeist toward what they used to do. Straight up lyrics, straight up words that's moving the culture. They don't want that. So now they're getting out front of it, this industry mind state. And that's exactly where Ray comes in. Ray already has an agenda against Roc Nation and Jay-Z already. So we're going to get there. But I want to talk about this final straw, this break the camel's back. Right? If you've been paying any attention to Ray, you've been just either checking out, trying to swipe your phone quickly before his voice comes on, or you just been writing on his comments like cussing him out, or you're just like oblivious to it. But Ray says the most ridiculous industry shit ever, and then goes on about his merry way like he just cooked. When we need industry information, then yeah, we'll hit you up, Ray. Right? But when we talking hip hop and our figures and our goats, we're not going to let you say stupid shit and go unchallenged. Okay? End of the day. It's not a diss song, it's a real song. Okay? But we're going to get there. I want to play this clip, right? I want to play look at it and look at the chat. Eminem. All the people that really moved the needle last year, this year, the year before that, 40 plus. But Ray's going to sit here and tell us Jay was too old to do this freestyle. Again, you got to hear this. I'm going to keep stopping it because I'm going to be rebutting this thing through the entire 5 minutes. I'm just going to be honest. But it starts off maddening and it just gets worse. It gets worse. Salute to the people in the chat, man. Salute to the people. Salute to the people. Salute to the mods. I know I threw a curveball. Y'all ain't know I was going on, but it is what it is. Let me pull this up, man. This is gang. Let me pull this up. Let me pull this up. All right, so this Ray Daniels thing. He started speaking on the Jay-Z situation, right? I can't, it's stunning how ridiculous this sounds. But I'm going to keep stopping it so we can have a conversation. If you guys can't hear it, let me know in the chat, but it should be loud enough. All right? Let me click on this shit, because this is on Twitter on the Joe Budden Clips fan page. And gang, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's stunning. It's stunning.
And to me, it's like, I feel like Nas caught him. The casino play, I feel like people are catching on to Jay right now. I think people are tired of him. I really believe that. Like, and I think that New York wanted to punish him by giving Nas. They wanted him to come there, do your little speech, and they knew they was gonna give it to Nas.
All right, gang, hold up. So it just started. Guys in the chat, tell me if you heard that. Tell me if you can hear that. I think it's fine. But the first thing he starts off with, you got to understand how absolutely asinine this is. He says that New York wanted to punish Jay-Z. This is all conjecture. They gave Nas the casino to punish Jay-Z because they're sick of Jay. They're just sick of him. So they let him come in, do his song and dance, right? Do his song and dance, only to deny him and give it to Nas. Okay, so let me give you my best recollection of what happened in New York. The Nas deal is in a different location than the Jay-Z deal, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me in the chat. The Nas deal is an addition to a thing that's already there. I believe they already had a casino there. Nas was an addition to build onto it. In Queens, if I'm not mistaken. Okay? Jay-Z's was supposed to be in downtown Manhattan. It was a long shot at best, and it wasn't just Jay. He was on a board. It wasn't just Jay walking in. It was a board of people. Manhattan wasn't having it. Let me know in the chat if I'm right or wrong. Manhattan wasn't having none of it. Wasn't about Jay-Z. Wasn't about let's one up Jay, give it to Nas. They're two different districts. It's not New York. It's two different, whole different places. New York didn't team up to give Jay the business. Okay? So right here, we need to start right there. Right? Gang, I'm just scratching the surface of the delusion and the nonsense. I'm just scratching the surface because he came in with an agenda to cook Jay for this freestyle. Okay? This is what it was for. So he started off the clip. Whoever clipped this up got it at the perfect place because it started dumb and it gets dumber. Get some water, man. Yep, Furry B the boroughs. Right? 5 boroughs. Nas had a way better chance. It wasn't no let's thumb our nose up at Jay-Z. But wait, wait, there's more. So let's just start there. How Ray Daniels, that's where he started at.
Because
Didn't he want a casino?
yes,
Yeah,
Drake,
yeah.
Drake.
Jay wanted one first.
People get mad at me for saying this, and I hope before y'all crucify me, you hear me. I don't think there's a difference between Jay-Z and Donald Trump. I've always said that. They're all no, hear me out.
I'm hearing you.
They are about them and their team, and only them and their team. Like Jay don't give a fuck about nobody that's not with him.
All right. Let's get there. Let's get there. Let's start here. Jay is like Donald Trump. In what way, Ray? Jay isn't trying to run for any office. He doesn't try to control anybody's lives. He's not taking people's health care. He's not ruining the economy. He's not fostering a racist, a fascist regime. How far we got to go with this, Ray? How far we got to go with this, Ray? He paid Lil Wayne's taxes. Lil Wayne is not in his team. He paid Lil Wayne's taxes. Lil Wayne was in trouble of going to prison for money he did not have, millions. And Jay quietly paid it for him, Ray. But he don't care about nobody. This guy gives the charities on the low and never ever says it. But Ray said he don't care about nobody but his team. How, Ray? How? Talk to me, Ray. In what way is Jay-Z walking around like Donald J. Trump? Please explain that one. And I'm smart enough to get what you're trying to say, but it don't make no sense. He doesn't act like a horse's ass. He doesn't act like an idiot. He's not grandstanding. He don't go around trying to have rallies and talk and big up himself every day. This guy's quiet. You said yourself he's quiet for years. Don't even tweet. He don't even go on Instagram. How is he like Donald J. Trump, Ray? I need to know, Ray. It ain't making no sense. And on another note, who in hip hop doesn't ride for their own team? Show me that rapper. Show me that rapper that goes against his team and gets everybody else popping but his team. And before you speak, I can give you somebody named Drake that does everything for everybody else. He just started trying to get them popping. I mean, people over there on OVO is really popping for real before you say it. All right? So what are we doing? They're trying to cook up narratives, right? And that's okay. And that's okay. And yes, Homeboy in the comment said Jay's a capitalist. He's always said that. I'm a hustler. We knew that from day one. But now people want to crucify the guy for doing what he do. He's always doing that. He's been all the records still got the same words on them. He just performed at the Roots Picnic. All the records are the same. So we've accepted that level of success, right? And then Ray in this rant is going to go and say, going to exalt, raise Kanye up for money. He's going to big up Kanye for the same money that he's trying to knock Jay down for. Salute to the super chat. Manhattan wasn't having it. I gotta move this thing. Kid Revo said Manhattan wasn't having it. They were saying that his casino would destroy Broadway. It's historic culture and character. And you are right. I appreciate you for the super chat. But we're going to get there. Ray, this coming from a place of you're not knowing everything that you're saying. You're just saying things. but we're not done. We're going to continue. All right.
Right. So to me, it's like, so now let's take, this is why I feel like he shouldn't have went on stage and said the line of Drake. Cause I feel like there's three giants of hip hop now: Drake, Jay, and Ye.
Slow down. Let's stay right there. Let's stay right there. He said, I feel like he shouldn't have went on stage and said the thing to Drake. So Drake can say whatever he wants to Jay. Right? You do know, I don't know if Ray knows that Drake threw shots at Hov on Iceman. I don't know if somebody should get in Ray's ear and tell him that. Industry shit. He's about to give you some industry logic, and even the industry logic that he's going to give you ain't making no sense. But he starts off the nonsense with Jay shouldn't have went on stage and said what he said to Drake. Now Drake is the entire industry trying to defend it. Maybe they was right, man. You remember that narrative I keep bringing back up? Maybe they was right. The narrative that didn't make no sense. Maybe if the guy goes independent, the whole industry collapsed. Remember they were saying that about 5-6 years ago? If Drake go independent, the entire record industry will collapse. Remember they even wrote a news article and everything. Look it up. The entire industry was supposed to collapse if this guy goes independent. So maybe Ray's out there playing defense and trying to defend this guy so that he could stay signed. Because he so-called dropped his last 3 albums that he fulfilled his obligations, right? Allegedly. But Jay shouldn't have said what he said. He said it the way, like, Jay jumped out there and did something that was so preposterous. Jay shouldn't have said what he said to Drake. This is what he said, gang. I'm not paraphrasing. That's just what he just said. Let me continue. It's maddening, gang. It's maddening to see somebody so out of touch. But let me continue.
I think those are the three that at the top of hip hop, the peak of hip hop. So
so he just said that the peak of hip hop. Stay with me, gang. This is Ray Daniels talking, gang. The top peak of hip hop. He didn't think this shit through. He said it's Jay. Now it's Jay-Z after one freestyle. It's Jay-Z now, right? The peak of hip hop is Jay-Z, Kanye of all people, and Drake. No Kendrick, right? No K-Dot. Right? No J. Cole, right? For what it's worth. No J. Cole. It's gang, do you understand what's happening right now? Do you guys understand what's going on? How this is maddening? Now it's Jay-Z, Drake, and Kanye West. Oh, God. I know it sounds like the title of the video, I was overreacting. I know you guys thought, Challz, here we go. Challz overreacting. I know you guys were thinking that when you piled in here anyway, because you rock with me. You were like, let me see how much he trumped this up to make this bigger than it is. We got an industry guy saying that the three big dogs in rap right now is Jay-Z, Drake, and Kanye West. Let's continue. We're going to get there, though.
Attack Ye on, and you go on the Roost picnic, and this is supposed to be your big one, right? The big one. Meanwhile, Ye has 118,000 people in Turkey, the biggest rap concert in history.
Nobody's talking about it.
Who's bigger? No, nobody's talking about it because Jay has a way of talking about the country. I mean, has a way of having a culture on lock. But what I'm saying is that if I'm on Jay's team, I might say, hey, don't talk that big talk when your boy who's under you has made more money, more impact, and on the night that you're doing the Roots concert, which we were there for everybody, including you, Ye sells out 118,000 seats in Turkey. I didn't even know.
What do y'all want me to do right now, gang? Should I log out? Should I log out? Am I done? Should I just log out? Because Ray Daniels just said Kanye sold out Turkey. He ain't talking about all the shows that got canceled. Right? He's not talking about the shows that got canceled. 5, 6, 7. 6, 7. that got canceled because he's the biggest superstar on earth. He's talking about Turkey. Jay shouldn't have went on the stage. Listen, gang, for those that thought I was over exaggerating, he just said Jay shouldn't have went on stage talking nothing because Kanye sold out Turkey. He just said Kanye made more money than Jay. You mean Kanye, the same dude that was on Twitter begging his wife Kim to help him out? You mean the billionaire Kanye that as soon as Adidas took the deal from him, he was back to regular ass millionaire like everybody else? That Kanye, and then he became a billionaire again when they decided to get rid of that Yeezy shit, that Yeezy stock that they couldn't flip without him? That Kanye? Do you mean the Kanye that just ran a $3 billion crypto scam last year? That Kanye? That $3 billion crypto scam that nobody but me was talking about. Nobody on the entire internet was talking about it, but I was. Kanye ran a $3 billion crypto scam. It is a fact. Cashed out and ran on his business. Look it up. But Ray Daniels just told you that Jay shouldn't have talked. If I was on Jay team, I would have said, don't get on that stage talking big bone. Because Kanye just sold out Turkey and he made more money than you. This is Ray Daniels, gang. Chat, welcome. Meet Ray Daniels, the industry expert. They can't Tasha K me because Kanye did run a $3 billion crypto scam. It is a fact. Ain't nothing to sue me for. It's a fact. There's nothing to sue me about. But Ray Daniels wants to tell Hove to chill out. Does he know that Kanye called his kids retarded? Does he know that? He didn't just diss Kanye to diss him. I don't know if Ray knows that part of the story. Maybe we need to let him know that's why he said what he said. Everybody got a defense for everything that he said instead of why did he say it? Academics crashing out. Ray Daniels crashing out. Even Bobby Shmurda crashing out. I'm about to get to a video about Bobby Shmurda just came out a full-on tirade against Jay, saying that Jay, he was a kid and Jay let him go to prison. He was on Rock Nation. I ain't even finished reading it yet, but we're going to get to that. Gang, and there's more shit in this thing. But if you're going to start saying who's the big dogs in rap, then let's be honest. Let's just be honest, gang. Hear me out. If we would have said, and I already know the answer. If we would have said, okay, a week ago, if I would have put a post up, name the big dogs in rap. Before the freestyle, gang. Before the freestyle. Jay ain't dropped an album since 444. That's got to be 8 years ago. 7-8 years ago. He had one verse with DJ Khaled. But hear me out. All of a sudden, right? At the Roots picnic, Jay has now become a big dog. If I would have made a poll said, name the 3 big dogs in rap right now, do you think Jay-Z name would have came up a week ago? Let's just be honest. You're naming the big three dogs, and you're going to say it's Jay-Z, Kanye, and Drake. All of a sudden, the two oldest motherfuckers you could name is now the big three? I don't hear nobody talking about Bully, my guy. Bully did one something. It was phenomenal because he's independent, allegedly, right? He does have a label, but it's not a major label. It's a label that backed him. And I think they're the ones that's keeping him from talking too crazy on social media. I think he made some type of deal with them that he can't say nothing on social media no more. Yeah, he's selling out. Yeah, he's selling out tickets. If the show happens. Every other show getting canceled, my G. How is he the big dog? He ain't that big because they not letting him perform for this, that, or the third. And who is Kanye that he can't be dissed? Talked about the man kids. This industry talk. Kanye just sold out Turkey, the biggest stadium. He said it with his chest too. Like, that makes him bigger hip hop. So if Flow Riders go and sell the shit out after him, now Flow Rider the king? Come on, Ray. That's what I mean when I say niggas that don't know hip hop is talking hip hop. You go to Ray and you say, Ray, I got a question for you. Why shouldn't Jay say something to Kanye? Is Kanye that nasty on the mic? Does Kanye got so many vicious, dope raps? Is he going to respond with one of the dopest records in the history of rapping? Is he going to tear Jay up lyrically? Ray going to be like, nah, he sold out the stadium in Turkey. Don't mess with him. Dumb shit. Who was it? Pusha or Malice said, get these 40 niggas out of here. Whatever he said. 30, 40. I don't know what he said, but get them niggas out of here. All I remember was get them out of here. Ray Daniels going, and these his own podcasts in his defense. These are his own podcasts he's getting on. But he does go to other people. Ray didn't even say that Kanye's going to respond with a record. He said Kanye is bigger than you. He made more money than you. And he sold out the biggest stadium on earth. This is where we're at. This is where we're at. We're not done though, gang. I know it sounds insane, but we still got more tape. We still got more tape. I don't know if you guys can handle more tape, but there's more. It's ridiculous that this is where we are on a Wednesday afternoon. Let me continue.
No, they like hip hop in Turkey. And he sold out 118,000 seats. So for me, and then you diss Drake about his paperwork, but you're 17 years older than him. You're supposed to have more. You're supposed to be more. You're supposed to be up. Jay has made his career picking on people younger than him.
Ooh, ha ha. Ooh, this is a grown man, gang. This is how old is it? Let me find out how old Ray Daniels is. I don't care. I don't even care. I'm not wasting my time. Listen. Gang, I should log out. I should go. I should go. Jay has made a career picking on people that's younger than him. So now Drake is young. Drake about to be 40, gang. Now Kanye is young. Kanye is about to be 50. Drake, Jay-Z is picking. Guys, I can't make this shit up. Jay-Z is picking on Drake. And he's picking on Kanye. Two dudes that attacked him and his kids. Kanye attacked his kids. Drake brought up the money talk to him. He said, I don't need no dinner with you. I'd rather take the 500,000 because he can't tell me nothing about business. Drake said that. But Ray Daniels is now telling us that Jay responding to defend himself is picking on them. Guys, I should log out. I should go. Now we worrying about people's ages. Millionaire and billionaire, they supposed to be two billionaires. They're rappers that rap and talk a hell of shit, but now they can't be picked on, gang. You guys wonder why I get so irritated. You guys wonder why I get so annoyed with these people. And at some point, it comes off as hate. But it's a lot of people lollygagging in this business that claim to know what they're talking about, and they get treated as such. And there's nobody else checking them. So I got to come out here and check them all, and I look like a hater. And right now it's like ping pong, pop, pop. It's like I got two ping pong paddles. I'm popping them as fast as they can send them because there's too many goofies out here. You got Dean the Great over here. You got Dame Dash over there. You got Myron over here. You got Lord Jamar over there. You got Ray Daniels coming up from the side. Bing bong. He said that Jay made his whole career picking off. Gang, do you realize nobody Jay's age is as relevant as Jay? So, and nobody his age disses him. They call him man Hove. Okay? Nobody his age disses him. So who's supposed to diss? Right? Keep going at Jazzo. Who is supposed to diss? You're making fun of Drake's paperwork. Where Drake is sitting up there acting like his paperwork is legit. Ray, these are asinine takes, my guy. They're rappers. They rap about each other when it comes time to. But we're supposed to exempt Drake from what? Now it's picking on him. He's 17 years older than him. What does that got to do with two grown men talking? You're supposed to have more. And then if he didn't have more, you'd be like, he got more than you. You talking about a nigga that can't win. Jay has more, so he's supposed to have more. But didn't you just say a while back? All right, man, let me keep it pushing.
Picking on people beneath it. And to me, it was like, I just didn't like the freestyle. I just was like, because I said it on this show. We know what Jay's going to do. He's going to do a freestyle. He's going to address everything, and he's going to let us talk about it. I'm tired of that. You ain't bigger than the culture. Y'all not tired of Jay-Z dropping a song and then us talking about it, and then he go over there and get money from all the big corporations? Because look at, they all talking about me.
You're a corporate guy. You know more than anybody that that's part of the game, first of all. Second of all, you're tired of talking about him, but what are you doing? You're talking about him. This sounds hella jealous. And how is he bigger? Maybe he is bigger than the shit if you're sitting there talking about him every time he does it. You just literally got mad that he gets money from corporations, the same shit you've been doing for years. You're an industry guy. How can you hate on somebody doing the same shit you're doing? Your bio says you made millions in the industry. What are you talking about? What are you mad about? This is insanity. He didn't like the freestyle. Let's unpack that. Sound like he didn't like it because he dissed Drake and Kanye. That would it sound like. So now he's reaching to find reasons to justify that. You called him, you said you're mad at him because he's a successful businessman and he has more money than both of them. And that's why you're mad. You try to find reasons to make it where Kanye's doing better than him. You bouncing all over the place. Either you're mad that he's rich or you're mad that he's not. I don't know which one it is. You just said that Kanye made more than him. What are we doing? So now it matters when he loses, but it's tough when it's terrible when he wins. What's going on, Ray? Talk to me. It ain't making no sense. And I think I'm doing a good job of showing restraint. I'm not being disrespectful to nobody. But this is, I can't imagine sitting there listening to this if I was in that room. I can't even imagine it. It's so ridiculous. But let me continue.
You know, it's just, to me, it's just like when you see the plays that he makes. And by the way, nigga, that's one of my idols, if not my top idol.
Don't do that. Don't say that's my idol, I'm my top idol, and then say this shit. It don't make no sense.
But as a man, I would be fake if I'm at the age I'm in now and I worship him the same way I did when I was 22.
Shouldn't have worshipped at 22, my G. Nobody's worshiping nobody. It sounded like you turned the corner because he did something to you, or he made more money than you, or something you didn't get some kind of deal with him because you turned the hell of a corner, and now everything he does is wrong. When you were chasing in his footsteps trying to make the same kind of money. Okay? At the end of the day, it's not about worshiping him. You're not saying shit that, oh, I just don't worship him no more. You're trying to low-key bring this guy down right now. You're trying to tear his whole legacy down with this podcast conversation you're having. Just so you know, Ray, you don't look like an idol. You don't look like somebody that fucks with him. You're like a nigga that can't stand him and don't want nothing to do with him, and you hope he fails. You hope Drake beat him, and you hope Kanye beat him. Because you're sitting there trying to make two dudes lyrically in every kind of way inferior. In every kind of way. You just did your best to go around the Marbury Bush and explain why Jay is wrong.
I've seen the knot. I've made my own millions. I've made my own mistakes. Yep. I've made big. And what I will tell you is that he has always had the advantage. So to me,
what? So you're playing the same game as him. You just said, I made my millions. I did this. So you're talking big bone and brolic, but somehow, some way he's maneuvered the same places you maneuvered and he outmaneuvered you. Now he had an advantage. Let's keep it put. Now we getting somewhere, gang. You got to understand where we going. It sounds like somebody that was trying to race a man he couldn't beat. And so now they ain't gonna dog him. Let me continue.
I feel like this is a scary time for him because I don't know if he should drop the album. And let me give you another play. Let me give y'all another play. I'm gonna tell y'all what's gonna happen. Jay is not dropping that album without a partnership. You think Jay is gonna give himself a chance to do 100,000 copies first week?
Did he have a partnership with 444?
He didn't need to.
So right there, hold on. Before we go any further, Homeboy question was fucking divine, right? Homeboy didn't even know he just cooked. He just asked a normal question. Did he have a partnership with 444? He didn't even know he just cooked, right? Ray went back to Magna Carta Holy Grail. When Jay released Magna Carta Holy Grail, he did a partnership with, I believe it may have been Nokia or somebody like that, right? One of the phone companies. And if you bought that phone You got Jay. Everybody went to buy the phone to get Jay's album though, but he making it like the corporation helped Jay. If you bought the phone, the album came with it. All the new sales, people went and bought the phone for the album. Sold a million copies. It went platinum, right? Okay, so he did a partnership. They promoted the phone. It was a brand new phone. They promoted the phone. He helped the phone get off the ground, okay? Motorola, Nokia, something, right? Whatever phone it was. I don't remember what it was. Samsung. All right, the Ville said Samsung. Salute Ville in the building, right? So he partnered with him, and the thing did numbers, right? Now, homeboy didn't know because he just didn't know. He said, did he have a partnership with 444? Just innocent man. Ray realized, shit, that's a foot in my ass. Because he did not. So watch Ray go around in a mall, goes around the corner trying to figure out a way out of this. Because he's still jealous from him back with the Samsung deal, right? I said no kid, but it's Samsung. He's still jealous of that. So he's still thinking about that, right? So now he got his foot in his ass. Now watch him wiggle out and put his other foot in his ass.
444 was enough. It was about Beyonce. It was the response to Lemonade. Everybody wanted to hear how he was going to respond to that.
You don't think that...
Slow down. Slow down. Yeah, it made waves when he responded to Lemonade. It made waves. Don't get it effed up. Yes, when that thing went live, first of all, 444 was almost a surprise drop. Remember when he started putting up those pink billboards in those miscellaneous places in Manhattan and this, that, and the third? It just said 444. Nobody knew what it was. They didn't know he was coming out. Nobody knew what it was. And then people started getting, I think that might be Jay-Z. That's Jay-Z's birthday. It was a surprise drop. When it dropped, everybody started getting to the lyrics of the fifth track. And that track was about Lemonade. He was talking about his cheating on his wife, this, that, and the third. No rapper had ever done this. Yes. But what he don't remember is Jay didn't put that record. Jay came out with, correct me if I'm wrong, the story of OJ. And people went crazy for that song. That song was on the radio. Am I bugging out? Somebody let me know, am I bugging out? Right? Let me know if I'm bugging out. If Jay didn't drop story of OJ first, please correct me in the comments. Okay? So Ray Daniels just put both feet in his ass because he said he's gonna get a sponsorship. Homeboy innocently said, well, did 444 have a sponsorship? Ding dong, kicked his own self in the ass. So he's like, no, but that's because Lemonade. Well, Jay never promoted that shit about Lemonade. Right? He did a couple interviews. They asked him about what made you say da. But when the shit dropped, he didn't come out saying, well, this is about Lemonade. He dropped story of OJ, which in his own right did very well. So Jay just put 2 feet in his ass. Now I get it. Yes, the Lemonade conversation did move the needle, right? So did Eric Benet. Don't never ever be Eric Benet, right? A lot of things. There's a lot of quotes. There was a lot. It was at least the night of the release of that, at least 15 quotes off that album. So the album did what it did. But Ray Daniels is so locked in on trying to hate on Jay, he's going to go this route with Lemonade. Let's continue.
You think he needs a sponsorship?
I think. Okay, here's why. If he stayed and only focused on bars, he doesn't. But he's not focusing on bars. He's focusing on bills.
Gang, this guy just stood up at the Roots picnic, which you tried to downplay. You try to say you were just at the Roots picnic as if that's some small shit. You just said that. You was at the Roots picnic. Kanye was in Turkey in front of 118,000 people. It's not the same, right? Remember, you just clowned the Roots picnic. And he just stood up there with bars. But now you're going to try to spin a narrative that Jay ain't focusing on bars. This guy talking out both sides of his neck and his ass. All over the place. all over the place. So we're going to let Ray talk out of his ass and see what comes out. Let's listen.
So that means when you drop, you got to be bigger than the boy. How you gonna diss me and you gonna sell 180,000 to 300?
In what world does Jay do 180? Chat, talk to me. What? His own arguments are killing themselves. You just said he was the biggest nigga in the game. You just said it's him, Kanye, and Drake. You just said that. And now you think he's going to do 180, Ray? Ray, what we doing here? Make up your mind, Ray. Yes, Drake did 463 for the Iceman. The other two did it. It ain't that easy to get that. He spent $16 million to promote that shit, Ray. Do you understand what's going on, Ray? Did 4 episodes, Ray. It was a whole lot of work to get there. And he had a battle on his back that he was trying to recover from. Yes, he did the numbers, but it was a lot of anticipation. So I don't think Jay has to try to beat 460, my guy. Jay's going to do well. For the old man that you're saying is 17 years older. It won't be 180. I can promise you that shit. I promise you that shit. And as a matter of fact, he might do for his goddamn self with the bars. Couple features, throw his wife on there. It might be a problem. Okay, Ray? And since we talking, I can guarantee you one motherfucking thing. It won't be no goddamn 180. That's on everything, my G. So I don't know what we doing. I don't know what the hell Ray talking about. Won't be no 180, my guy. That's a fucking fact. So, Ray, what we doing? Let me continue, though. I'm going to let Ray kick. I'm going to let Ray cook. Like Glorilla say, let him cook. I'm going to let him cook, though. I'm going to let him cook.
100,000 and the boy sold 600 or some change.
He did it, Ray. God damn it. Ray. Iceman did 463. Hibbity Bibbity did about 120. And the last one, I think, was Maid of Honor did around 114, between 120. Let's say they both did 120. Round the shit up. They 3 different albums, Ray. They got 3 different SKUs, Ray. When I go to my streaming services, I can't just roll into the other one. I got to physically search the other one and play it, Ray. That means it's a different album, Ray. You can't combine the sales, Ray. You can't combine the sales. It's not one album, Ray. It didn't do 6, Ray. Your industry, you know better than this. You're better than this, Ray. You're better than this. Let me continue.
Bundles. He gonna do bundles.
That's my point.
You think Jay gonna do bundles?
He has to cheat.
Vinyl.
He has to cheat, bro.
Gang, did I overhype this? Did I oversell this thing? I need to know, did I oversell this thing? Or is this the most ridiculous shit he has to cheat? So now he's going to go into how bundles are cheating. He's going to say bundles are cheating. Now he's going to explain to you, Jay getting a sponsorship and some bundles is somehow cheating.
Wow.
I'm telling you, like, you got to understand something. Jay doesn't get this far without being conscious. Jay is conscious as fuck. He knows everything going on around him. Jay is thinking to himself, damn, Jay did 120,000? Fuck, that's big.
All right, let me keep.
Hip hop, like, he ain't did that. So you got to understand something. Jay is attacking, but I'm like, if I'm on Jay's team, I'm like, nigga, you better go sit down with Ye. You don't, that's why I think he was so bothered. This is the most alone he's been.
I don't know if he was bothered.
No, he felt.
Homie over here, look. Homie over here, I don't know cuz name. Homie low-key, I'm going to be honest. Yeah, homie low-key, he giving a little pushback. Ray Daniels is telling Hov to go sit down with Kanye. Gang, I can't make this shit up. I did not oversell this clip. This shit is insanity. This is insanity, gang. Jay-Z need to go sit down with Kanye and figure it out. And figure out how to move in a room full of vultures, right? Now Kanye got the key. I got the key. Kanye got the key, and Jay needs to sit down with Ye. This is Ray Daniels talking, gang. Sometimes your jealousy and envy of a person get you saying some crazy shit. I'm just going to be honest. Now think about this. No one's talking about Bully. No one. People are going to them shows for Kanye's music from the past. They're not going for this Bully shit. Okay? He hasn't toured in a while. In a lot of these places, he's never been. So they're excited. They're coming out in droves, yes. But Jay, at the same time, when Kanye was selling out that Florida, that I believe it, what was it? Orlando, wherever it was, Tampa, Florida, wherever he sold out, Jay had 2 million people in the queue for the 2 shows in New York. And was it the Met Stadium? Yankee Stadium, sorry. Yankee Stadium, if I'm correct. Jay had 2 million people in the queue. They had to add another night for old ass albums. Blueprint is from 2001, and I believe Reasonable Doubt is from 1996. And he's made it very clear he's performing those albums in their entirety, and the shit sold out. But in Ray Daniels' world, Jay got to go ask Kanye what to do next. SoFi, that's where SoFi ain't SoFi in, that's not the one I'm talking about. Kanye has sold out something. I think he sold out Florida before he sold out after the LA show. I think it was Florida. I'm not sure. Whatever stadium it was, I could be wrong. But whatever stadium it was, when he was selling that stadium, Jay-Z was selling his shit. So I don't know if Ray Daniel knows, but end of the day, Jay low-key got some fans that want to see him. And stop downplaying the Roots Picnic. He did one freestyle. The freestyle was 3 minutes long and shook the whole game, and you're up here talking about it. He didn't even drop a record, my guy, and you're sitting on that couch hating. A lot of heat coming off that couch, Ray. A lot of heat coming off that couch, and the nigga just dropped one freestyle. He threw like a line each for each of these guys. He didn't even focus on them. And Ray sitting there talking about he picking on them. Ray, you must be silent for 30 days. 13 days. That Malcolm X movie, I believe it was Muhammad told him, he silenced him for 30 days. Ray, you might need to be silent for 30 days. You sound absolutely insane. Maddening. I don't know what we talking about. But wait, there's more, right? SoFi in LA. Okay, so it was the SoFi show. You're right, it's a SoFi show. I was wrong about the Florida, whatever it is, right? Something like that. End of the day, don't really care either way. So end of the day, they both were selling out stadiums. They had millions in the queue. So I don't know what he needs to go sit down with Kanye for, right? Just gonna be honest. But let me continue. Let me let the madness continue. We ain't got much more.
But the afro, the look, he came out on some Eazy-E, all black. I'm here to kill y'all. That was a statement. Jay has not changed his look in 10 years, and he did it that night. That's because I want y'all to, it's like when Michael Jackson did the moonwalk at that Motown 35 or 25, whatever it was. He knew what the moment was. He knew what it was.
So let me ask you this. What happens at Yankee Stadium?
I think he's going to do another freestyle.
Yep.
But wait, let me not get too far ahead. What he was trying to say about the afro, he was insinuating, I don't think I let it play, but he's insinuating that Jay is bothered. That's why he came out and did the freestyle. And that's why he came out with the afro. He's bothered. And he was trying to make the point that Jay is bigger than that. He shouldn't be bothered at all. He's too big to be bothered. Okay, let me continue. So everybody can talk about Jay, but Jay too old to respond. Mind you just called him the biggest. Let me keep this push.
Absolutely.
But I will tell you this: the album drops around the Yankee Stadium shows.
Okay.
If an album drops, it drops around the Yankee Stadium. Like I seen his books already, I seen his play, but even when he said the brunch was canceled, the brunch wasn't canceled because niggas was hungry. The brunch was canceled because you had a light on your ass. The lawsuits was coming down. And so for me, it's like I hate when you try to flip the narrative rather than taking the L. That's why I like this 444 album so much.
All right, so he never said why the brunch was canceled. He said cancel the brunches. I remember the hunger pains. He never said I canceled it for this, that, or the third. Right? Ray's hate is blinding. It's blinding him right now. He's making up narratives. He's making up shit to reason to hate. He's making up reasons to hate the guy.
Much because he was so human on it. He called himself a dummy.
See, he loves that. Right? He wants to see him fail. He wants to hear how he cheated on his wife and made mistakes and was unholier than thou. He wants to hear how this guy isn't Superman, right? This is what he wants to hear.
He admitted his mistakes. Like, I feel like at 56, you still coming on the boss talk to niggas that's young enough to be your son. I think you should grow past that. I think you're too old for that.
That's where the clip ends, gang. That's where the clip ends. So Ray Daniels is telling Jay-Z, you're too old for the boss talk. Right? You're too old for the boss talk. Meanwhile, they're questioning his boss status every time they get on the mic and disrespect him. And he got up there and he talked this talk, and the entire world shut down. They've been talking about this shit for 4 days straight. Yes, we're still making videos about it. They're still doing numbers. He challenged the entire regime. We're not even talking about Iceman no more. We're talking about Jay-Z freestyle. He shifted the whole thing with a 3-minute freestyle. But you're sitting there saying, you're too old to be doing this. You're too old to be talking boss talk. But everybody wanted to hear it. Right? Everybody's debating what Drake should do. What should Kanye do? Everybody's debating. The entire culture wanted to hear it. I don't know what's going on in the chat. I ain't been paying attention. I'll get to you, Queen B. I got you. So listen. Say less. So listen. I don't know what's going on in the chat. Moderators are in there moderating. I don't know what y'all got going on. All right? Let people have opinion, but don't let it get too crazy. But this is what we're going to do. It sounds like Ray Daniels thinks these are teenagers. And Jay is the big homie picking on them. And he has to defend them for some strange, weirdo reason. That take was awful. Everything about it. You're a grown man in a grown man's business. Ain't nobody exempt from getting their ass kicked in this business. But somehow you want them to leave them alone because they're too young. Using words like picking on them. You're supposed to be a manager. Imagine telling your artists to not use things to their advantage. Imagine telling your artists, don't get sponsorships, do the shit yourself. Don't use bundles because that's cheating. But when Jay does it, it's cheating and he needs to not do it. You're supposed to be in the industry and everything works unless it's Jay, then don't do it. It's all good unless it's Jay, then he's doing the wrong way. Doing it the wrong way and doing everything backwards and ass backwards because he can and he's got the advantage. It's sucker talk, my guy. I'm just going to be honest. This is sucker shit, my G. I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. This is why hip hop is all fucked up. We got lawsuits running around and people defending lawsuits. It's all fucked up now. How did he say it's all fucked up now? When Biggie died, right? It's all fucked up now. My G, you are 40 something, pushing 50, if not 50 or better. I didn't even look it up because I ain't had time. Kanye pushing 50, Drake pushing 40. He ain't a kid. I'm not a kid anymore. Sometimes I sit and wish I was a kid again. Back in the days when I was young. Listen, he's not a kid, Ray. It's a bunch of grown men rushing to defend a guy who actually puts his own foot in the fucking fire to get burnt, and then everybody calls him a victim some kind of way. I don't know how we got there. We didn't used to protect rappers like this, gang. I'm just gonna be honest. Y'all did a piss poor job of protecting Ja Rule when he got bullied. Remember that? That's it, man. That's the meeting. I could have blew that out of proportion, but I think that was necessary to hear. I think we needed to hear that delusional shit that Ray Daniels is spouting. And Ray, if you get wind of this, respond. Use your words, my G. Just use your words. Right? Just use your words. It ain't got to get this, that, and a third. Just use your words. But that was absolutely horrifying. And I still didn't even dissect it. I did a look. I could have went another hour on that shit. Just that 5 minutes. I can't even imagine what the whole clip looked like. I can't even imagine. It probably make me like go to the highest cliff and just leap. It's probably remember that movie Bird Box? You gotta cover your eyes, and if you look, then you just that's what it just feel like. Maybe it just make you just bird box. It's so outrageous, you just can't take it no more. It's absolute nonsense. It's nonsense. And I don't think I oversold it. I think the average hip hop head from my era, and some of you new guys, you'll get it. If you're not a super fan, super stan, you'll understand that Ray sounds like it sounds ridiculous. Let's leave it at that, okay? Right? It ain't no disrespect, but it's some real just combating the nonsense. All right? I appreciate you guys watching, man. Listen, I'm about to get out of here. Head on over to black-yeti.com. Let them know who sent you. Ray's supposed to be an industry guy that's made millions for artists. Would you tell your artists to not do the shit that Jay's doing? Would you tell your labels to not use these tactics to get ahead in the game is dirty, Ray. You know that well as I do. It sounds like he beat a lot of his competitors that you might have been working for. It sounds like something's there, gang. It sounds like something's there that you're trying to figure out reasons why you lost. You just said he cheated. You're in the industry just like him, but you said he cheated. Gang, head on over to black-yeti.com. Let them know who sent you. They ship all over the continental U.S. Man, every Wednesday night we go live on the What Show, me, TJ Flicks. I'm not going on the What Show tonight. I just got hit up by the company, man. I might pop in on the Culture United tonight. Tap in over there. Man, this is bad, gang. This is bad. This is bad. Listen, we got an out project. It's called the What Project. We got a song on there called Peanut Butter Tim's. Got a new video for that. Check that out in my videos. And my Patreon is up. Over 200 members in there already. Go over to the Patreon, lock in. You can get in for free $99. I post stuff for free and I post stuff for subscription. So you can lock in with both. let me know, man. Just go over there, head and do that, this, that, and the third. I got a new morning show every weekday morning, 8 o'clock. I'm already 3 episodes in. 8 o'clock, this, that, and the third morning show. Tap in with me, lock in 8 a.m. tomorrow, Eastern time. All right, we working over here, man. I'm gonna tell you why I'm working. Just between me and you, the people in this chat, because I see a lot of fuck shit. That's why I'm ramping up my work. They giving the goofiest niggas #1 hip hop media, and they don't set right with me. I'm just going to be honest. Don't set right. So I'm going to do more work because this ain't it. We got guys that are launching to a full-on slander mode, and they're supposed to be hip hop media, but they can sit there and slander anybody they feel like it. Go hours, go days. They slandering academics is slandering Jay-Z for days because of a freestyle. And he's the #1 hip hop media. No. Some got to give, some got to change it. We need some alternative to this bullshit. And on that note, man, listen, I'm out of here. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna catch y'all on the flip, man. Listen.